Hi, I'm JJ Blands, and this is Jonathan McKinney.
Hello.
And you're watching another episode of Writing, Talking and Dog Walking.
Cool. So what are we talking about?
So today we're going to be talking about the importance of tracking your character's emotional state.
Okay.
So basically, if your character goes through an experience, obviously during that scene, the scene that you're writing, you give them their emotional. So if it's a scary scene, you make sure your character is scared. If it's a heartbreaking scene, you make sure a character is sad. But the important thing you have to do is when you move into the next scene and the following scenes, keep your character's emotional state moving with it. So you can't set them back to neutral. If your character's just been through a terrible scare, and the next scene, they're happy as Larry and they are fine, then you've got a problem. And the example that I'm going to bring you from my oeuvre of examples. So we are watching Lost, the minute.
Yeah.
In the episode of Lost, The Moth, Charlie gets rid of his heroin, right? He opts to destroy his heroin on the guidance of Locke.
Right.
So he's shaking and he's emotional because he's going through, a lot. The next episode takes place the following morning.
And he's chill.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He is completely fine. He's focused on getting peanut butter for Claire. He is not stressed. He is not struggling. Right. He is not carrying the emotional state of the previous episode, the previous scene by chronologically. He has not carried that with him. So he feels very inconsistent, and the audience is then booted out of that character's experience and cannot relate to that character.
If you've been tracking it. Some audiences won't. They just show up week to week. But it is still weak storytelling. There's another example early in Lost. So sorry to Lost for using your excellent
But we know it really well,
show.
and it is...
excellent TV show, but we've got fresh memory of it because we've been going through it in a podcast. So in episode 2 or 3, what's the character's name? The brother.
Liam.
Not Liam?
Charlie's brother.
Not Charlie's brother.
Oh.
The brother of Shannon.
Oh, Boone.
Boone, right? Boone. In one episode, he's desperate for Jack to be the leader of the island. He's like, you know what to do, you're the leader. In the next episode, he's challenging Jack because he wants to be the leader. And there's no journey. You
don't see his emotional state moving from
so
those.
The character breaks instead of arcing, which is what this is, I suppose, what the video is about arcing rather than breaking your character. And
if you want your character to have... So if you wanted Boone, in this example, to decide to challenge Jack, that's fine. You can take your character's emotions on that journey. If you want a character to go from desperately sad to super in love, or weak to strong, or anything like that, you can take them on that journey. But you have to make sure that your audience goes with you and they can monitor the emotional state and the change of your character as they go. Otherwise, it's taking them here, and just banging it, and there is no art.
And this is one of your jobs as a writer, as a storyteller.
Find a way to do it.
And it's not something you can really take your eye off if you want to be competent at this job. If you're watching this, you're probably writing a novel. And it might be your first, it might be your third, fifth, whatever. And it can start to drain your mental, emotional energy when you're tracking lots and lots of different characters. You're carrying all of these people in your head all the time. So what a good piece of practical advice, if you are finding it difficult to in all moments, remember how everybody is feeling and everything that's happened to everybody, because that is draining. If it's your first novel, you're probably okay because you're kind of creating it as you go. If you get into the second, third, fourth novel, it can be really difficult because you're like, oh, what's happened to this person? What's happened to this person? And that is just a lot of pressure on your shoulders as you're creating. So what I would advise that you do, if you like to write onto a physical piece of paper, chart your characters. This has happened to them. If you'd rather create document files on your computer,
I have spreadsheets.
Right. So you use actual spreadsheets.
I have spreadsheets. I monitor. So for instance, my Lily Prospero series, I've got a spreadsheet of each character's name, their emotional crises, friendships, relationships, breakups, deaths, family members, experiences, anything significant that has happened to them or is about that character. Because when you've written a lot, if you've got a lot of different characters and you've got a series of books, it's quite easy sometimes, especially if you've written more than just that, because it's been a few years since I wrote the first Magic Rabbit, the Lily Prosper and the Magic Rabbit, a few years. So my memory isn't fresh because I've written so many other things. So if I write a character into the book 3, which obviously is in process, I can look at my spreadsheet and just refresh my mind on anything significant that's happened so that I don't break my character.
Yeah, I'll share an experience too, because when I first started the Shieldmaids series, I was very happy to document all of these characters because I wanted to put into practice this concept of a 5-man band in storytelling, where you've got a leader, a lancer, a tough guy, a smart guy, and a kind of heart character, a human character. And so I wanted to create that. I wanted to have a consistent bad guy. So I sort of wrote everything down in document files on my computer. As I got into the second novel, I was more confident and I was really writing fast. I was writing really quickly. I wrote the second novel in about 3 months.
Yeah, I remember.
About 100,000 words plus a novella set at the same time involving some of the same characters.
That was like a really prolific time for you.
It was, because
crazy.
Yeah, in 6 months later the follow-up came out, as well as another novella set around the same time as that.
That was a crazy year.
Yeah, I was rapid for that period, and I relied on the fact that I wasn't creating anything else.
Yeah.
So I knew the characters really well. I knew everything that happened to them really well. I knew everything I was planning on doing. And then I wrote Unholy Water, which is set on the other side of the Atlantic. It's set in the same universe, but then they don't touch each other, the two stories. All new characters going through an all new experience, set over 5 days. Again, dead easy to track that. And then...
going back to Shieldmaids.
Well, no, because then, after Unholy Water...
of course, then we did Grace March.
We started writing a series of television, like a season of television. And so that took all of my energy. I dived deep into that, and subsequently we finished writing that, and we've started writing other things.
Yeah.
And I've still got the work in progress of the Shieldmaids novel. So when I go back to it, I can't go back in the same way that I wrote the second and the third novels, because if I do, it'll break my brain. So I need, because subconsciously I'm trying to remember everything. Because if I don't remember everything, I might have a situation like Charlie in Lost or Boone in Lost, and someone out there will notice, and I will be, less competent at my job than I would like to be. So that can create a sense of writer's block. A good way to stop it, I think, as I've already said, really, is to externalize that pressure, put it down somewhere that you can refer to it if you need to. And it does take a load off. I'm
a big fan of spreadsheets, just for life.
Yeah.
I spreadsheet so many things. I like to track everything. I like to know what I've got.
Yeah.
And as I say, I've got one for Grace March. I've got one for the Prosperos, like the Lou Prospero series. It helps me that if I find a character and I don't have it immediately to my mind, rather than being like, oh my God, what happened? Where is this character emotionally? It's been a while since I've been with them. Because, as you say, there were so many characters bubbling around in my brain. I can open my spreadsheet, find them, and it immediately puts you back, because if you read their life and their experiences, you're then, yes, of course, and then you can write them accurately. So, yeah. It's good advice. So thank you very much for watching the importance of tracking your character's emotional state. We would like to bring you writing advice that you want, so please put a comment down below if there is anything you want us to talk about, a writing concept that you want to explore, a question you have, a film or book or something that you particularly love that you want to understand better what makes it tick. Let us know and we'll be able to talk about it. If you could do me a huge favour, if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel, it helps us grow, it helps us keep bringing you the advice that you want. So please do that, we really appreciate it. Come talk to us on social media. I had to try and remember all these different things I've got to get out. Come and talk to us on social media. I'm Judy Ann Rose and he is John Muck on Twitter. We're putting links to everything below. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Come and find us. Come and tell us what you're doing. Ask us your questions over there. See what we're up to. If you can go to www.sirenstories.co.uk, you can find information about our new film Hollowhood that is coming out. There's also a link to the website as well. So, come find us. Come ask us your questions and we will be back to you soon.
All right.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.